Hello, my dears.
Hello.
Oh, yes. Welcome. It's so nice to see you. Welcome, my friends, to my little cottage. There are so many dear old friends. Lucy, darling, how are you, beautiful chrysanthemums?
Just fine, thank you.
Oh, good. Griselda. Don't be shy now, Griselda. Griselda, you must tell the vicar how much I enjoyed his sermon on Sunday.
For sure.
Oh, good. Dolly, I do hope the Colonel has recovered from his cough.
He's doing quite well, thank you.
Oh, good. Such a horrible thing to be stricken with cough. Now, my friends, I'm sure all of you would like to say hello to me, but since there are so many of you, why don't we take care of it all together? I shall count to 3, and on the count of 3, you shall shout out all at once, well, hello, my dear. My, oh my, don't you look lovely today? Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, hello, my dear. My, oh, my, don't you look lovely today?
Oh, my friends, do you really think so? Should make an old lady blush. Well, down to business, shall we? As all of you know, just 6 months ago, on August the 7th, 1957, our dear little village of St. Mary Mead was woefully beset by murder.
Oh.
Yes. And what a horrible murder it was. Will people never change? Here we are in these modern times, and the human animal is just as cruel and savage as it ever was. Well, my friends, I'm delighted to announce that at last the murder has been solved, and, as is sometimes the case, your dear little friend, Miss Jane Marple, had some slight opportunity of assisting in the investigation. And, having all the information now that I did not have at the time, I'm ready to tell the story. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. Then do sit back and pour yourself a cup of tea. For I find nothing goes quite so well with murder as a nice cup of tea. Now, where shall we begin? Of course, it was late in the night, and scattered here and there throughout the village were all of our story's most important characters. My dear friends, can you guess which 2 of these folks were meeting in secret that night? Just point or call out that
The
what
lady
they're
in the
wearing.
dress in blue.
The
There's 2
lady
blue
in the dress
dress.
in blue
Blue
and
dress, orange shirt.
orange shirt. My dear friends, can you guess where they were meeting in our village?
The bakery.
You're correct, at the bakery.
Miss Marysworth,
Yes, Farnsworth.
thank you so much for coming to the bakery, Miss Marysworth. I know this is a very strange request here, for I being your servant and you meeting me here, but I could think of no other place where we could have the most privacy imaginable.
Well, yes, I know. It is midnight, dear. Sit down.
Miss Marysworth, I will, if you will pardon my boldness, for I know that next week you are to be wed to Jonathan.
Yes?
Miss Marysworth, I have been your house servant for the past 15 years, and I do consider you, and I hope I am not out of line by saying this, but I do consider you family, and I care about you greatly. Miss Marysworth, I must tell you that Jonathan, do not marry him. He is not right for you.
Well, I think he's quite perfect for me. He's 50 years older. He has a lot of money. What could be wrong with that?
Miss Marysworth, I apologize for being the one to tell you this, and I tell you it is like fire burning my throat as I say these words. But Jonathan, I saw him with another woman, having dinner. Well, they were quite comfortable with each other.
Well, I do frequently see him eat dinner. But another woman? What exactly are you saying?
I saw him give her a kiss upon the cheek.
Oh, that is bad.
Yes. And they were holding hands.
Oh, ew. He was holding her hand. Oh,
Miss
I don't
Blaisdell.
even do that. Oh, this is terrible. I do need to marry him, you see, before he dies. What should I do? Quickly tell me.
Miss Maresworth, I say, to hell with money. You deserve much better in your life. You should find a man who does respect you, who shows you true love. Someone who you have known for quite a long time and who has always been there for you and knows the deepest moments and knows your life routine, Miss Maresworth.
My friends, can you guess what kind of servant Farnsworth is to marry Miss Maresworth?
Butler.
What?
Chauffeur?
The chauffeur.
Chauffeur.
You're correct.
Miss Maresworth, I've been your chauffeur.
Yes, you have, and I have just the idea. I know exactly who I should meet and marry. It would be Henry. And so why don't you drive me over there right now? Let's just...
Jonathan, thank you so much for meeting me. God, here, let me help you sit.
Thank you, Matilda!
Let me pour you some tea. It's got special medicine in it for your arthritis and tuberculosis. Also, it will help with your heart condition and if you have strokes.
Terrific! Want a kiss?
Not again! Remember what we talked about?
Worth a shot.
Yes, you snuck one in yesterday, didn't you?
And I'll do it again!
No, let's not. Now, as your nurse, it is very important that you listen to what I say and do what I tell you to do.
I like this game.
I know you do.
Go on.
And we'll play our little hide and seek later, but it is important that you drink the tea as it is medicinal.
I'm drinking.
No, you're looking at it. Now remember, if you are to marry, you need your strength.
It might go down better with a little brandy.
Oh,
My dear friends, Jonathan was quite the catch in his younger days. Can you guess what vocation he had that would make him such a strapping buck? Big game hunter. Correct.
I thought you might ask. It's medicinal.
Matilda! I've hunted just about everything on God's green earth.
Yes, you have, and is indicated by all the heads that are on your wall, staring.
The black rhino, the white polar bear, the gray camel. But the one thing I never was able to bag was a wife.
Well, maybe you should have put your gun down and stopped running. Well, you seem to have bagged one now.
Indeed,
And she's a lovely-ish woman.
I agree. I've got to have someone to leave all these heads to.
Yes, you do. Don't
And,
you?
well, my son, the vegetarian, doesn't want them.
Well, he's ridiculous.
He is. And illegitimate, because I've never been married.
I know that. You just keep telling me you're single, and I'll take care of you.
Matilda, just because I'm getting married, I hope it doesn't mean that we must stop having our little get-togethers.
I'll still be your nurse, won't I? I mean, I've only just begun your service, so I assume that I will
I'm saying is I'd like to nurse from you.
You will not nurse me. We talked about that. I'm not pregnant, and it would be inappropriate.
Matilda, damn your professionalism. A man has needs. I can't be tied down. I'm not even married yet, and I can't be tied down. Now, I may be 85 years old. 50 years older than my bride-to-be. But the way I made it this long, not only was medicine, but also by living life to the fullest.
And you should continue to live your life to the fullest. And that's why I'm here to help you do so. I want you to be the best you. I want you to even be able to go out hunting again. In fact, I'd love to go hunting with you someday.
Really?
Yes.
That's wonderful,
Drink the
Matilda. Okay.
My dear friends, in that moment, the nurse, Matilda, made a confession. Can you guess what that confession was? She poisoned the tea. That is a goodish. Yes. What else do we have? What other confession from her past?
She's been married.
She slept with his son.
I can't take it anymore. I can't hold this secret in. I had sex with your vegetarian son. And believe me, and I won't say it. It's too uncouth and I'm English.
Go on.
All right. He came here one day to visit while you were napping. And I can only imagine that he looks like you did when you were a young, strapping hunter. Well, he was flirtatious. I don't know where he gets it from. And I decided, being lonely and a spinster myself, that I would agree to his proposition.
Matilda, well, frankly, I'm disappointed that this cannot be. I am thrilled, for I always thought he might not be into women.
The jury's still out, but I do find myself very, very affectionate towards him, and I hope you will give us your blessing. I'd like to continue to see him.
Well, Matilda, I encourage his dalliances, of course, but this could never result in anything serious. I mean, you're merely the help.
Merely the help? I have gone to school to become an RN. I may not wear it every day, but I have my cap to prove it. I will not be insulted by you, Jonathan. If you would like to hire a simple maid to do your nursing, we'll go ahead. I don't need this job.
No, Matilda, no one knows the right mixture of my medicines and how much brandy I take in them.
And don't treat me like a simple servant.
Very well, Matilda. You must know you're very valued around here at my estate, but honestly, you were hoping to have a serious relationship with my son? My son?
Absolutely. And maybe you should talk to him and find out for yourself. As we are going out for vegetables and fruit tonight.
In public?
Yes. I have to go get ready.
Oh, Jennifer, darling, you look beautiful tonight.
Oh, thank you, Henry.
Oh, Jennifer, do turn towards the sun so I might see your profile.
Like this?
Oh, yes. Goodness, you know, sometimes I wake up here in the mansion, knowing that my father, with his wheezing and coughing and general pestilential breath, is sleeping not far away. And the only thing that gives me pleasure is knowing that you and I are to be wed.
Oh, my dear.
Because I am completely into women.
I
And I am completely faithful to you.
Oh, my dear Henry, I have never doubted as much as that.
I would never do anything like have an affair with a nurse, so to say.
Oh, no, why would you when you have me?
No, of course I wouldn't.
Yes.
Tell me again about your riches.
Well, you see, my father made his fortune making yardsticks. And
The measure of a man.
indeed, oh yes, indeed. And you know, although he was threatened by the metric system, he stepped to the imperial system of measurement. And that is how we made so much money, you see. And after my father died, I took over the factory. And I'm independently wealthy.
You see, darling, I know that when you and I met, I too had great aspirations towards wealth, but there's something you must know.
Oh, what is it, my dear?
Well, it's father. He is to be married, you see.
Yes?
Well, he has decided to write me out of the will and give all of the money to his new bride and any offspring that might come of the union.
Oh, my.
Which is why your financial stability becomes such an important bedrock of our love.
I see. Oh, it means that you love me more.
Okay.
Let's stand beneath the pink rhino this time.
You know, darling, there aren't many women who could love a vegetarian.
It's different, I know. It's difficult when we go to restaurants, and they only have soda crackers for you.
I bring my own lettuce.
Oh, you're so special and creative. And you have that special bag that you carry your cabbage and lettuce in. So lovely indeed.
You are such a good woman.
Oh.
I don't know if I could deceive you any longer.
What is it?
I have had an affair!
Henry,
I'm so sorry.
how dare you say such a thing?
I slept with father's nurse.
No!
Yes,
No!
2 times.
She's just the help! Oh! Oh, that's terrible! 2 times?
Yes.
Oh! And you still think you can marry me? How dare you?
Don't you see? Don't you see? I know that having done that terrible thing might jeopardize our relationship and might jeopardize my fortune, but deep down, I'm a good man. And I want you to know that even though I stray from time to time, I promise you that if you forgive that one indiscretion, I shall never ever be unfaithful to you again.
My dear friend,
Ready for our date?
My...
Oh, your date. Is that some sort of fruit, or do you mean that...
Who are you?
I'm Jennifer, and I'm to be wed to Henry.
Yes.
You see, we are to be wed.
I was...
Who are you?
It's the nurse.
Come
Matilda,
in.
I'm just...
I see who you are now. The nurse.
Yes, the nurse.
Darling,
You must...
I was going to tell you that I'm afraid you and I can no longer have anything to do with one another. You see, this good woman has decided to accept me, in spite of the fact that you and I have had a past.
But you told me you loved me.
That was a lie.
You told me you were single.
That was a lie.
You told me I was the best you ever had.
Henry, you know you shouldn't play with... Oh, my. You shouldn't play with women this way. If you only knew what happened to the last man that broke my heart.
Tell me, sister. I need some ideas.
Well, it wasn't pretty.
Oh, this is so bloody awkward.
Sit down.
You see, the last man that broke my heart, well, he lives in Australia now. Yes.
Down under?
With the criminals. I had him prosecuted, and he was found guilty of breaking my heart.
That's a crime.
It
You're
is.
guilty of breaking my heart.
Wait,
Is your heart broken?
Yes.
listen, please. I admit it, I've been a cad, but that is exactly exactly why I brought you here today, to come clean and tell you the truth. And if you can accept me for who I am, then fine. And if not, then I'll go. It's true, I'm sorry. I have feelings for this woman, and I wish to marry her. And the fact that she's wealthy is an important part of that, because... well, I'm just being honest.
What does her wealth have to do with anything? You're rich.
Yes, but Father has written me out of his will.
Oh, goodbye. Nice meeting you.
Oh, I see. Henry, you can say goodbye to me as well.
No, no, please.
I'm sorry, but I shall not be heartbroken again.
I won't break your heart. I am telling you all of my flaws so that you can see what an honest man I really am.
Let me get my yardstick out.
Jonathan, let's play Jungle Safari.
I'm coming!
I'm wearing the zebra coat.
You naughty striped beast!
Do you have your hearing aids on?
Eh?
Come and chase me.
I'm coming!
Come on, faster.
This is as fast as it moves. Huh.
Oh, come on, pretend like you can really kill me.
Wow, dark. Gotcha!
Gotcha! My friends, in this horseplay, everything seemed very innocent. However, shortly after he said gotcha, someone in our story breathed a final breath. But can you guess who it was?
Matilda.
What? No.
My dear friends, can you guess who was found to be murdered?
The chauffeur.
Jennifer.
Jonathan.
I heard the first was the nurse. You're correct.
Told you. What? Yeah.
That poor nurse's body was discovered like this.
Father!
Henry!
Father!
What is all this commotion?
Father, I have something terrible to tell you.
What?
It's your nurse.
Matilda?
She's dead.
What?
She's dead.
No!
Oh, it was the most horrifying thing I had ever seen in my life.